Welcome to the Finance Report. I'm Mallory Hoff alongside David Wilkinson and our guests Mike Kinnett and Ryan Herbert. Over the next half hour, we'll discuss planning for a successful retirement and why so many people in this country are missing the mark.
So here's what's in store. First, we're going to talk about taxes. They could be the most critical part of your retirement, but get this, they're often overlooked. Then in 15 in 15, we'll discuss income, risk, and growth strategies, and we'll also head to the streets of Orlando, where we'll talk with Mike and Ryan about the reality of retiring in today's world and what inspires them to help people retire gracefully. That conversation and so much more ahead.
But first, Mike Kinnett and Ryan Herbert are part of the team at ProStatus Financial Advisors Group, an Orlando area firm that focuses on preparing people for a successful retirement. Mike and Ryan are also popular radio show hosts. Mike and Ryan, I've heard you say time and time again that the goal really is to stop worrying once we get to retirement. How important is having a proper tax strategy when it comes to accomplishing this?
Well, if you think about it, as you enter into retirement, if part of your plan includes giving 20 to 30, maybe 40% of your monthly income to those clowns up in Congress and the White House, I mean, how is that a good retirement plan at all? I mean, why should you have to worry one bit about how those guys are spending your money? Clearly not good stewards of our money, right? So if they're going to overspend every single year, and they're going to want more and more of my tax dollars every single year to pay for whatever stupid project they have in mind, be it, shrimp on a treadmill or bridges to nowhere, or whatever it is they're spending their money.
Does sound like fun.
Yeah. Well, I want to know who it is that thought, first of all, let's watch that shrimp.
Okay.
And how did you get that shrimp to actually cooperate to run on the treadmill, right? I mean, how did we get that happen? But the fact is that so many people go through retirement thinking that it's acceptable to lose 20, 30, 40%, and that's insane. We do not understand how anybody could actually take advice about here's what you should do for your retirement, and the advice giver has no clue what the tax implications are.
So Ryan, if people are losing this much money off the top, why on earth are taxes so often overlooked?
Well, I think it's just one of those things that people are used to paying taxes every single year. It comes out of your paycheck every single year, and then they just assume that I have to pay my taxes. They think that's what they're supposed to do.
Except for Social Security. Social Security is never taxable.
Well, that's true, but sometimes even my retirement's not taxable. What do you mean?
Right.
But it really just is. People aren't aware of the various strategies that are out there to really help reduce those taxes in retirement, and they're just honestly not thinking about it because all they think about is, I'm going to retire at 65, I want to have $1 million in my 401k, and that's it. When they get to that point, that's all they think about.
All right, let's talk real numbers here. What is the difference between those who plan for taxes and those who don't?
Well, literally, you have to have 140% of what you thought you were going to need, right? I mean, you're either taking a pay cut, which, why would you go into retirement thinking that I'm going to take a pay cut? Why do you want that? Nobody should go to retirement assuming I'm going to have less income. That's not a good idea, right? I mean, maybe if you pay off your house or something, but the reality is there's so many advice givers out there, and all they do is focus on, okay, we're going to create your income, we're going to do some sort of allocation, and this person is not talking to them about the tax implications. And what makes it worse is not just the tax implications for what happens to me while I'm alive, but for my spouse, right?
Sure.
And then what happens to the money with my kids? We're seeing clients lose 20, 30, 40% while they're alive, and then their kids losing another 20, 30, 40% when they inherit the money. And this is crazy to lose that much money. You do not want to go. Our philosophy is you always pay the least amount of taxes legally possible, right? I mean, that makes sense to everybody. And if you can position yourself that you're always paying the least amount of taxes possible, do you know what that tax bracket is? Zero. I mean, that zero's the hero, right? That's where we want to be. We think it's so important. We actually wrote a book on tax planning. I mean, tax planning is, to us, is the starting point of every retirement plan.
So Ryan, tax planning, tax preparing, what's the difference?
Well, tax preparation is really just, you can train a monkey, like Mike and I always say, train a monkey to put numbers on a page.
Okay.
You go to your H&R Block, you hand them your W-2s, you hand them your 1099s, they spit out a tax return, they give it back to you. When do you see that person next? April of next year.
Yeah.
Sure.
Tax preparation is someone who not only does the return for you, but then says, okay, let's think about the steps we're going to take this year. Here's what we can do to improve your situation. And then you're going to meet with them after April, maybe sometime in June, maybe in September. We see all of our clients November, December to talk about, here's what's happened throughout the year for you. Here's what we should do for the rest of this year. And here, let's plan on January of next year or February of next year. Let's make these changes. So that way, we're getting you close to that 0% tax bracket, because at the end of the day, that is really what it's all about.
And it's not just what's happening today and tomorrow, right? I mean, CPAs are great historians. They put numbers on the page, like Ryan said. But it's really, what does it look like today? What does it look like 5 years from now? I mean, 72 is a magic number in our industry, right? I mean, in our world, 72 RMD. When you have to take RMDs, that's the IRS saying you're being forced to take money out of your retirement accounts, even if you don't need it, right? And they want you to lose 30 to 40%. The reason why you have to take it out, they want their portion, right?
They got to pay for those shrimp.
On the treadmill, too.
We're circling back.
They took all the risk. You took all the risk. You paid all the fees. You did everything. It's all your money, and now they want their 30%. We look at it today, tomorrow, 10 years, 20 years, all down the line. That's tax planning.
Absolutely, really important information.
Want to be proactive with that, which means the time to act is now. And today, exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, Mike and Ryan have a great offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, they're offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan just for you. This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call, 321-346-7677.
Mike and Ryan, we're continuing to break down the retirement planning process. You guys have been doing this for a lot of years. Let's talk
Too many years sometimes.
Let's talk about what a successful retirement plan includes.
Well, most people think it's really just managing my money, having my advisor manage my money. But you want to make sure your plan includes taxes. You want to make sure it includes estate planning, because it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep and how much goes to your kids. You want to talk about life insurance, you want to talk about long-term care, you want to talk about your homeowners and auto insurance. Really everything under the sun with a dollar sign attached to it should be part of your financial plan.
And also part of the conversation has to be, what exactly does retirement look like, right? I mean, so many people think that retirement is just the income itself. We have this client of ours, John, it was hilarious. Comes in, we ask him what retirement looks like. He's got the Winnebago and golf clubs, right? And his wife is looking at him across the table saying, I don't know what you're talking about. We're living next door to our daughter and the grandkids. So what does retirement look like is a big piece of the puzzle.
All right, and are you all on the same page?
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
All right, so let me ask you this. Let's dive a little bit deeper into taxes. So many people in this country, I think, have this sit tight and ride it out mentality, afraid to make a move right now when it comes to their taxes. What do you say to those folks?
Today's the day. I mean, literally, we have about 5 years left to take advantage of the lowest tax rates we've ever seen in our lifetime. And yeah, you can procrastinate, but you're going to get hit by a bus if you wait too long, right? I mean, that bus is huge, and that's 30 to 40% of your income going to taxes if you don't take advantage of it now.
Exactly right, Mike. This is the time for you to take advantage to get yourself to that 0% tax bracket in retirement.
Really important information. Mike, Ryan, thank you very much. And coming up on the Finance Report, we'll walk the streets of Orlando and talk about the reality of overlooking retirement planning. And up next in 15 in 15, David will put Mike and Ryan on the clock.
Are we really looking at close to a third of our money going to Uncle Sam?
Yeah, and those guys are not good stewards with our money. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, they do not spend our money well.
But first, today, exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, Mike and Ryan have a great offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with $500,000 or greater saved for retirement, they're offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan just for you. This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 321-346-7677.
The clock is ticking towards your retirement, so that brings us to 15 in 15. 15 topics in 15 seconds for both Mike and Ryan. You guys ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
All right, starting with you, Ryan. How much money will you need to retire? According to a survey, more Americans than ever before believe the magic number is $1 million. So, is that the magic number?
No, and I honestly don't think there is a magic number that you should be thinking about.
Okay.
People see that silly commercial where they're in the park and they grab that string, they run to the end, and there's a number there. That doesn't work. Really, the number is how much money do you need to have in retirement, and that's really what drives everything for you as far as your number.
Okay.
But wait, I do like the origami bunny.
Sure, he's
because
great.
that really does tell us how much you've been drinking.
Okay, understood.
Right.
Well, he just burst my bubble right here because I love the little line that's falling behind me. All right, Mike, it's understandable to have some concerns, perhaps some fears when it comes to spending our savings. So what do we need to do in order to spend with confidence?
Well, the reality is if you have a well-defined and drafted retirement plan, you know how long that income is going to last. So that's the first thing you want to do is make sure that you secure the income for your retirement, however much you need, make sure it's there forever.
And you would say create multiple sources.
Oh, absolutely. And multiple tax-free sources need to be better.
Yes. Back to the taxes we go. So Ryan, your turn again. What if I told you 45% of people who do not have an advisor believe the typical cost is between 5 and 15% of their assets? That could be very expensive.
Can we get away with that?
No, I mean, it's in play. It's in play. But that brings us to the most important part right here. How much do you charge the consumers you work with?
So our fees range from 2% down to 0.5%, really depending upon the level of assets we're managing and what it is we're actually doing. But at the end of the day, it's not how much you make, it's really how much you keep.
So you're legitimately saying the numbers I just said, 5 and 15% right there, and you said 2% and 0.5%. That's a big difference.
And even 2% is on the high end. And if you're paying 5 to 15%, that's insane.
Okay, back to taxes. Mike, you're teed up right here. There was a recent survey that found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to pay taxes. Are we really looking at close to a third of our money going to Uncle Sam?
Yeah, and those guys are not good stewards with our money. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on, they do not spend our money well. You need to have a plan of action that you're not losing 20 to 30% right off the top. And if you're working with an advisor who does not understand the investment advice that they're giving and the tax implication, that's a crazy way to go through retirement.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially with that much money on the line. Ryan, when it comes to income taxes, is it possible to receive retirement income from our life savings without having to pay income taxes?
You know, absolutely. It's such an important thing that we actually wrote a book about it, but it all comes with having a plan and putting a plan in place, because you cannot just approach retirement and taxes on a whim. You just can't go at it. You really have to have that plan and stick to that plan.
And actually, the plan should be that your taxes result in zero each and every year. It can happen, you just have to plan for it.
And you've said it, zero is?
The hero.
All right, absolutely. I think a lot of people agree right there. Mike, obviously, as we approach retirement, our thinking, it can certainly change. Is it more important to avoid big losses, though, or focus on maximizing growth?
Now, I'm telling you right now, what you want to do is avoid big losses as you go into and through retirement, right? When you're young, you have time to recoup the misses. When you're in retirement age, you cannot strike out. That is a disaster for retirement. Singles are much better than home runs. Avoid the losses.
What can a big loss look like for someone?
I think a 20 to 30% loss is almost insurmountable, mostly from the emotional side, right?
Sure.
I mean, obviously, if you've created an income stream in such a way that it's guaranteed, right? If you created your own pension, you have pension, Social Security, that's one thing. But if you need income from your investments and you lose 20 to 30%, even if you can recoup, emotionally it's damaging, you can't come over it.
Well, that's a change in lifestyle. That's going back to work.
Right. Look at smiley faces.
Look what I just did to this entire segment right here. It's supposed to be 15 and 15. We're just giving them 45 here. Why not? You're the guest,
Blew it
right?
up, right?
Blew it up right there. All right, Ryan, back to you. Who doesn't love guaranteed money? Annuities are an investment that can do that for your income. But why do you believe so many people are hesitant to buy one?
Well, I think annuities get a bad rap because they're sold by insurance people who are honestly those used car salesman mentality. And most people don't understand them. They don't understand the fees. They don't understand how they work.
Even the salesmen don't understand.
Exactly. They can be a viable tool if used properly, but if used incorrectly, it's a horrible investment, just like Susie Orman said.
All right, great news for you guys. Pausing the clock right now. You guys go get hydrated. We got more to come. But first, today exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, Mike and Ryan have a great offer. Right now, for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, they're offering a complimentary, full-blown retirement plan just for you. This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call, 321-346-7677. So back on the clock we go. Topic number 8 of 15 and 15. Mike, you're up. We've worked decades to get to retirement. We want to travel, see the world, spoil our families, and do the things that we've worked so hard to do. So how do we go about maximizing our lifestyle goals in retirement?
Well, first of all, you actually need to know what they are, right? So that's part of the conversation. But really maximizing the goals, maximizing the income all starts, again, with having that financial plan that says, here's how much money I can spend each and every month on the things I have to have, and how much I can spend on the things I want to have. And that's the important part. Accomplishing the I wants. That's important.
Very true right there. So Ryan, fees, I've heard them compared to termites where they're just eating away at your retirement plans. What can fees really do to someone's retirement if they're unaware of what they're paying?
Well, most people have no idea what they're paying.
Really?
You know, Forbes does studies. John Oliver did a hilarious take on it, but you know, it can eat away 15 to 20%
Wow.
of your retirement if you're not aware of how much you're paying.
And in addition to that, it's not just the fees that you pay to the investment company and the advisor. What about the 30% you lose to taxes
Yep.
each and every year? That's a huge fee, and people ignore it all the time, including the advisors giving the advice to buy those expensive fee products in the first place.
Does anybody else think this man's passionate about what he's talking about right now? 401ks, Mike, lots of people have them. They rely on them for income. But how common is it for parts of someone's 401k to be underperforming?
All the time, right? Because you think you have no choices. And so once you leave your employer, more often than not, it makes sense to pull that money out into an IRA because you have unlimited choices, right? You can choose and pick exactly what you want to have, and you can pick the best performing funds and the best performing positions in each sector that you want to be in. Move your money when you get out.
Very important information. Ryan, once upon a time, pensions were standard. You collected Social Security, and a few mutual funds and bonds carried you to retirement. But how have the rules to retirement planning changed?
Well, those pensions are really a thing of the past. Unless you work for the government, pretty much no pensions are there. You're going to get Social Security, but how much can you withdraw from your accounts? They say it's 5%, then it went 4%, now it's 3.3%. When is it going to be 1%?
Keeps moving, keeps moving. Mike, we've discussed that really being ready for retirement is both a mental and a financial question. So how do we know if we're really ready for retirement?
I think that's a question you have to have with yourself and perhaps your significant other and probably the advisor, because it's a big emotional thing when every day is Saturday and all of a sudden you're trying to figure out my honey-do list, my bucket list, my round to it list, and what exactly is my day going to look like. Have that conversation with your spouse, your family. Think about what you're going to be doing every single day.
Ryan, focusing in on long-term care, what can people do to prepare for this without having to buy a huge insurance policy?
Well, you want to make sure you have a plan. Whether you're going to decide that you want to pay for it yourself, like some clients do, or there's honestly life insurance that has a rider that says you can use its death benefit to pay for your long-term care. It really is all about having a plan and sticking to that plan and making sure your kids are aware of what your plan is.
Absolutely.
Mike, I asked him earlier about how the rules to retirement planning have changed. Let's go to one of these things from the old school days, buy and hold. Is that strategy still a good one?
Yeah, buy and hold works really well unless the market's dropping, right? I mean, 2008, everybody got crushed. And the reality is, as you go through retirement, you cannot afford those 10 and 20 and 30% drops. Imagine if you retired in 2000, 14 years you made no money if you bought and hold. Insane way to go through it.
All right, final question, Ryan. Cryptocurrency, it's gained some steam. Should that be part of someone's retirement planning process?
You know, I think it's okay to have some money in cryptocurrency. Make sure it's a legitimate one, not one of the meme versions of it. But you know, it can be a useful tool. You know, being well diversified is never a bad idea.
Yeah, understood. Probably good to have some knowledge about what you're investing in as well. Ryan, Mike, great work off the clock. So for you at home, lots of great information right there. And because of that, Mike and Ryan have a great offer for you. Exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, they're offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan for the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater. This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. A game plan to get you where you need to be. The number to call, 321-346-7677.
For Mike Kinnett and Ryan Herbert, their work isn't just a job, it's a passion. And on a walk through Orlando, they share stories and an unmistakable love of the community they're proud to call home.
This is exactly what Florida is supposed to be all about. I mean, the walking paths, the outdoor dining areas, the community.
No shortage of food options, no shortage of entertainment. I would think that if you didn't plan correctly for retirement, all of this could potentially be a tease.
Yeah, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, retirement's not supposed to have stress. You've worked all those years, you've made the right decisions, you've made the right financial choices. You might have sacrificed a bit to get to where you are today, and it doesn't make sense to have to stress about the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life. It should all be about enjoying the fruits of your labor.
Whether breaking things down on TV, telling it like it is on the radio, or having a conversation in the office, for Mike Kinnett and Ryan Herbert, the goal is simple: prepare clients for a successful retirement. And they say Florida is appealing for so many reasons.
And to have that extra bonus of having probably the lowest tax rates for property taxes, 0 income taxes, it's just a phenomenal place to be for retirees.
Why is it so important to have a tailor-made plan?
Well, I think everybody's an expert at the water cooler until something goes sideways, right? And something's wrong. I mean, think about inflation today, right? Nobody assumed or nobody thought about inflation being 5, 6, 7% like it is now. So you have to have a professional, a true person who understands how to move in and out of the various things that the market and the world throws at us.
There is no magic number for anybody. It's really all about your situation and how much you need and what your quality of life is that you want to have in retirement.
If you have spent years chasing what you thought was that magic number, what steps can you take right now to change your path?
I think the best thing you can do, and it's not just today, it's every day for the rest of your life, is have a plan. And a financial plan is not etched in stone.
The plan changes because life changes.
Mike started the financial planning aspect of his career back in 1997, when he says he noticed a very serious need for estate planning, tax planning, and retirement planning to all be offered under one roof. Since then, many of his clients have retired right here in Florida.
When I was done with law school and I went and got my master's degree in tax, I was working for a law firm. And as I was doing the estate plan and the tax planning for them, I was always shocked that the advisor firm, whoever it happened to be, that the advisors weren't actually giving them sound investment and tax planning and estate planning advice. And so often these people were coming in and they had one person telling them this for their investments, another person telling them something else for their retirement, and even something else on the estate plan. Why have the stress of not knowing that all the pieces are working together?
As Mike helps others plan for retirement, he says his own personal story remains top of mind.
Grew up in foster care, lived in a shelter for kids for about 8 months of my life, went to 9 different high schools.
9 different high schools.
9 different high schools. And I was fortunate. I was adopted when I was 14 by a woman. It was the perfect time for me. It was the right time in my life. She gave me enough room to grow into who I became today. And quite honestly, part of the reason I do what I do is having seen what that looks like, having seen my family and my relatives struggle and not have a clear path and a direction, and even going into retirement at 70 and 80 years old, still having to work just to make ends meet. I didn't want that for me. I didn't want that for my family as I raised my own family. And it didn't make sense for other people to have to go through it. And with just a little bit of guidance, just a little bit of direction, most people don't have to experience that.
And for Mike and Ryan, there's just something about letting clients know retirement is on the horizon.
Hugs, tears, applaud, all kinds of things. There's never a dull moment when you tell somebody, today is the day you can finally retire.
It's an incredible feeling to watch the look on their face, recognizing that they made it, that they have enough. I mean, just the look and the sigh of relief that they recognize that we're there. We can do what we want. I can go to my boss now and say, you know what, I'm done. You don't have to quit, but imagine being in a position where you can quit any day of the week and all of a sudden every day for the rest of your life is vacation. That is what the incredible feeling is, knowing that we can deliver that for our clients, knowing that our clients go through that process and they see that, hey, this is going to work. I'm going to have the retirement I worked so hard for. I'm going to have the retirement that I dreamed about. That, for us, at the end of the day, is the most incredible feeling.
And as you can see, Mike and Ryan have a passion for helping people. So today, exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, Mike and Ryan have a great offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with $500,000 or greater for retirement, they're offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan just for you. This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 321-346-7677.
What I love about the way we work together and what our practice brings to the table for retirees is the fact that when you come in the door, you know you have a team that's going to actually do truly comprehensive planning.
The problem that most people have when it comes to financial planning is they're working with someone, like you mentioned, who doesn't talk about the taxes. So they want to ask them.
Or a statement, shows on the statement, don't
exactly,
talk to me about
don't
taxes.
talk to me about taxes. I can't talk to you about taxes. And they say, hey, I want to do a Roth conversion. What should I do? Oh yeah, we can do a Roth conversion, but you need to go talk to my tax person. And you drive across town to go see the CPA and you ask them what to do. They say, okay, let's just make an estimated tax payment. That way you don't have to worry about tax time. And you ask your CPA, okay, now that I'm doing this Roth stuff, what happens to my estate plan? Oh, well, that's not my job. I don't talk to you about that. Drive back across town, go talk to the estate planning attorney. And the problem that they're running into is they are now becoming the middleman between these 2, 3, 4, 5 different professionals, where when it comes to us, You want to do that Roth conversion? Okay, here's what's going to happen to your tax return. Here's how your estate plan is going to change.
Exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, Mike and Ryan have a great offer for you. Right now, for the first 5 callers with $500,000 or greater for retirement, they're offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan just for you. This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call right now, 321-346-7677.
All right, before we go today, let's recap.
Absolutely. Mike and Ryan, when it comes to planning for a successful retirement, what I'm hearing today is that tax planning really is critical.
Absolutely. It's the starting and the ending of all successful retirement plans. You always need to be planning to get yourself in the lowest taxes legally possible, preferably zero.
Ryan, what kind of costs could we be looking at if we overlook, ignore, don't do tax planning for retirement?
You know, it's anywhere between 30, 40, sometimes even 50%.
Say it again.
Taxes.
Say it again.
40, 50% in taxes that you can lose right off the top if you don't have a plan for taxes in retirement.
All right, so when it comes to risk and protection, what should our takeaway be today?
You should always take the least amount of risk necessary to accomplish the goal. Remember, the dog wags the tail. The tail does not wag the dog. Have a plan, least amount of risk necessary to get you where you want to be.
And why is it so important at this stage of life to make sure your portfolio does not look like it did 30 plus years ago?
Well, honestly, at the end of the day, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. You want to make sure that you're protecting yourself against those ups and downs of the market.
Absolutely.
So all of this being said, let's say all of these elements we've been talking about today work together. What can lifestyle potentially look like in retirement?
Well, I mean, you've worked all those years, you've sweated, you've made the sacrifices, you've gained all the money, right? You did everything you're supposed to do.
You did it right.
Yeah, and now's the time you're supposed to reap the rewards. And you should not be stressed about what retirement's going to look like. You should not worry about losing 20 to 40%. You should not worry about them raising taxes. You should have a plan that says, I can get from point A to point B, get my honey-do list, my round-to-it list, and my bucket list done before I run out of time.
And certainly income planning will factor into that. So devil's advocate, if someone comes to you all and says, Mike, Ryan, I've got Social Security, perhaps I'm lucky enough to still have a pension, is that typically enough income to get to and through retirement?
You know, it all really is personal. It depends on how much money you need to have in retirement. If those two sources give you enough, then you're fine. But if not, most people need that third leg of their stool to take that money out of the retirement, and they want to make sure that income is as guaranteed as it can possibly be.
All right, and for those who have been picking away at their pile of money for years and years, what changes can they make right now?
Realistically, they need to sit down and create a sound retirement plan that covers income, taxes, and estate planning. That's what they need to do.
And I know to help our viewers at home with this, Mike and Ryan, you have a very special offer.
For the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $500,000 or greater, I'd like to invite you into the office where the team will sit down with you personally and help you create your very own retirement plan, and we'll do this on a complimentary basis.
And that really is an opportunity that should not be missed. So exclusively for our Finance Report viewers, Mike and Ryan are offering the first 5 callers with $500,000 or greater saved for retirement a complimentary full-blown retirement plan.
This will allow their team to sit down with you personally and provide you with a roadmap, analyzing where you are right now and discuss your best steps to really get ready for a successful retirement. The number to call, 321-346-7677. For all of us at the Finance Report, thank you for watching.
And we'll see you back here next time.